Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Ms. Deveshna Sharma, associated with Himani Boarding School, and today we will be discussing on a new topic or a new chapter, that is photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a very important process that occurs only in green plants. This is the process by which green plants prepare their own food. Now you may be thinking, why we also prepare our own food in the kitchen? But if you think, when we prepare food in the kitchen, we use plants or we use animals which are dependent on plants for food. So in the entire world, the green plants are the only organisms which can prepare their own food, and hence they are known as autotrophs. Auto meaning self, so they prepare their own food, whereas animals and other plants which do not contain chlorophyll are called heterotrophs. Heterotrophs are those organisms which depend on plants directly or indirectly for food. Now, the mode of nutrition. The mode of nutrition in plants, that is autotrophs, is called autotrophic nutrition, and in animals it is called heterotrophic nutrition. So autotrophic nutrition is the process in which green plants prepare their own food, and this process is known as photosynthesis. Now, photosynthesis, if you divide it, you will see that it has two terms, photo and synthesis. Photo meaning light. For example, photograph. If you want to take a photograph, you need light. So, photo means light. Synthesis means to prepare or manufacture. So, in this process, light plays an important role. So, what is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is the process by which green plants prepare their own food by utilizing carbon dioxide and water. So, what is very important? Carbon dioxide and water. In the presence of, now what is required? Sunlight. As I already told you, in the term itself, photosynthesis, that means light is very important. And the next thing that is required is chlorophyll. So, photosynthesis is the process in which green plants prepare their own food by utilizing carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. What is produced now? What is the result of photosynthesis? C6H12O6. This is the formula for glucose. So the food that is formed in green plants is in the form of glucose, and oxygen is also produced. That is why we say grow more green plants, so that we get oxygen, because oxygen is a byproduct of photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is the process in which green plants prepare their own food by utilizing carbon dioxide, water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll to produce glucose and oxygen. Now, where does this photosynthesis take place? Photosynthesis occurs in the leaves of the plant. Now, if we observe a leaf, if we take a section of the leaf and we observe it under the microscope, we will see a structure something like this. Now, we have already done in plant tissues, the outermost layer of the plant is formed of the protective tissue, that is the epidermis. So outermost layer, we see that it is made out of the protective tissue, that is epidermis. Then you will see the next layer, which is composed of parenchyma cells, which we've done in plant tissues. This is also composed of parenchyma cells. Okay? The upper layer, which does not have any intercellular space between them, is called palisade tissue. And the next layer of parenchyma cells, in which you find large intercellular spaces, is called spongy tissue. Then again, we find another layer of protective tissue, that is the lower epidermis. So this forms the upper epidermis and this forms the lower epidermis. And if you see, I have drawn gaps in between the lower epidermis because it consists of the guard cells and the stomata. So you find stomata in the lower epidermis. So now, I told you palisade tissue and spongy tissue are parenchyma cells. Now, these tissues, that is the palisade tissue and the spongy tissue, contain a type of plastid. If you remember, we had done in the plant cell, plastid imparts color. Okay, so there's a type of plastid present in the palisade tissue and spongy tissue. This plastid is called chloroplast. So it is a plastid. And we've already done plastids are present only in a plant cell. Now this chloroplast contains a pigment called chlorophyll. It contains a pigment called chlorophyll. Pigment gives color. So chlorophyll gives the green color actually. And when I discussed the definition of photosynthesis, I said photosynthesis is a process in which green plants prepare their own food by utilizing carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. So where does photosynthesis take place? It takes place in the leaf, and especially where in the leaf? In the chloroplast, because it contains chlorophyll. Understood? So where does photosynthesis takes place? It takes place in the leaf. But which part of the leaf? In the palisade tissue and spongy tissue, which contains the plastid chloroplast, which contains the pigment chlorophyll. So it occurs in the chloroplast. So now we will be discussing about the structure of the chloroplast. Now, this was the diagram that I drew before this was the structure of a leaf. Now suppose if we observe the chloroplast under the microscope, we will find that it consists of a double layered membrane, and the structure looks something like a balloon. Okay, so it consists of a double layered membrane, and inside this membrane, the inner part is folded to form sac-like structures. sac here means balloon type, okay, small balloons, okay. So the inner layer is folded to form sac-like structures. These sac-like structures are called thylakoids. So the sac-like structures are called thylakoids. Okay. Now the thylakoids, if you see in the diagram, I have drawn that they are arranged in a pile, a stack. Okay. So this pile of thylakoids is called grana. Grana is the plural form, grana is the singular form. So thylakoids are arranged in piles or stacks called grana or granum. Now these grana are attached to each other or connected to each other by structures called fret. Okay, so the grana are connected to each other by structures called fret. Now the ground substance on which you find the thylakoids are jelly-like. Okay, they are jelly, it is jelly-like, and this ground substance is called stroma. It's called stroma. So the chloroplast consists of a double-layered membrane, and the inner walls of the inner layer of the chloroplast is folded into sac-like structures called thylakoids. Thylakoids are arranged in piles or stacks called grana. The grana are interconnected to each other by fret, and the ground substance on which it lies is a jelly-like substance called stroma. Now, where is the chlorophyll present? Chlorophyll is present in the thylakoids. So you find the chlorophyll in the thylakoids. So where does photosynthesis actually takes place? It actually takes place in the thylakoids where the chlorophyll is present. So once more, photosynthesis is the process by which green plants prepare their own food. Their mode of nutrition is called autotrophic nutrition, since they prepare their own food, and they are called autotrophs. Photosynthesis is a process by which green plants prepare their own food by utilizing carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll to produce glucose and oxygen. Then we did the internal structure of the leaf, where I discussed about the upper epidermis and the lower epidermis, and in between we find the parenchyma cells, which is divided into palisade tissue and spongy tissue. This palisade tissue and spongy tissue contain chloroplast, and it is here where photosynthesis takes place. And this is the structure of the chloroplast. It is a double-layered membrane. The inner layer is folded into structures called thylakoids. Thylakoids are arranged in piles called grana. They are interconnected by structures called fret, and the ground substance is jelly-like and is called stroma. Chlorophyll is present in the thylakoids. Thank you everyone. I hope you understood what we discussed today. Thank you. Keep watching. Please do like and subscribe my videos. Bye-bye.